Applying for a new role in a school can be daunting, especially if you're an ECT in England or an NQT in Wales. You've had all the preparation on your teacher training journey, but when it's application time, it all starts to feel very real. However, it doesn't need to be a stressful or scary experience. Hi everyone, I'm Zoe from My Progression, and today I'm going to share some advice on applying for teaching roles in a school. This video is mainly aimed at new teachers. However, if you're more experienced and want a refresher, keep watching. Before you can apply for any role, it's crucial to research the school properly. A well-researched application makes a huge difference. Schools want to know that you understand their ethos, teaching style and values, and that you're genuinely interested in becoming part of their team. It is vital that you know what you want from a school and if you're going to thrive there. If you haven't watched it already, make sure you watch the first part of our ECT and NQT series, Job Seeking, Finding the Right School, linked in the description below. Let's talk about your application, because this is the first impression and it needs to count. Applying for schools is different to other jobs. It's all on the school's website and through their portal. You'll have to fill in each application form individually. It's a good idea to create a Word document with key information on, so you don't need to keep repeating the same things. A cover letter is to introduce yourself to the school and explain why you want to work there. Although it's a good idea to have a basic template for a cover letter, it's important to personalise this for each individual school. Schools can spot a generic application from a mile away. Tailor each cover letter to the specific role and school that you're applying for. Mention why their school appeals to you and how your experience and values align with their needs. A high-quality application that will stand out from the rest is when you show the school, rather than just telling them about your successes. You can do this through using examples. For instance, instead of saying, "I'm passionate about helping students succeed," give a specific example. In my last placement, I helped a struggling pupil improve their reading due to providing extra support in recognising different graphemes in phonics. Become familiar with the job description. Find out what it is they're looking for and make sure you highlight these relevant skills in your application. If the job description mentions behaviour management or lesson planning, make sure you reflect these skills in your application. Again, use clear examples as discussed to back it up. Think about what makes you unique. Why do you stand out from all the other applicants? Make sure you include this, because if you don't tell the school, then how are they going to know why you are so good? And don't forget to proofread. You need to show that you are the expert in education. You're going to be that role model for your pupils in subject knowledge. Spelling or grammatical mistakes could make the difference between getting an interview or not. If you're finding this video helpful, why not check out our Preparing for a New Job series? We've created a whole series of videos to help you land your dream teaching job and feel prepared in your first year in the classroom. If you haven't already, like and subscribe and click on the bell to keep showing your support to My Progression. For more content personalised for new teachers, write ECT or NQT in the comment box below. Once you've got an interview, congratulations! Now it's time to prepare. Teaching interviews tend to contain different components, including a face-to-face interview, a lesson observation, and even a discussion with the pupils. For the face-to-face interview, you need to be prepared with the most common teaching interview questions, such as, why do you want to work at this school? How would you handle challenging behaviour, including pupils with additional needs? Can you give an example of a successful lesson you taught and why it went so well? And also, when a lesson hasn't gone how you originally planned, how did you overcome this? Prepare answers that are backed up with specific examples from your training or previous experience. Use the STAR method: situation, task, action and result, to structure your answers clearly and confidently. A quick top tip from me: schools often ask about safeguarding, so make sure you understand your responsibilities and know the school's safeguarding policy. This includes knowing who the designated safeguarding leads are, how to report a concern, and any indicators to look for in children. Being prepared to speak confidently about safeguarding is a must. It's likely that you'll be asked to teach a lesson on the interview day or a day following the initial interview. The school will give you brief guidance beforehand on the subject, topic, year group and any additional information that you need to know about the class. Don't overcomplicate it. Keep it simple and use specific lesson objectives following the national curriculum expectations for the age group. Prepare resources for all abilities and needs, just like you would in a normal lesson. The last thing that you want to do in an observation is having lots of pupils with their hands up saying they don't know what to do. Now remember, you don't need to put on a show during an interview lesson, but it must be engaging and get your personality across. I would always recommend using a theme for the lesson to make it more memorable and ensure pupil engagement. For example, if you're writing a setting description, use the 5 senses, give pupils pictures, play music, or provide sensory resources to help generate ideas for writing. Or, in a maths lesson, use current events to base your lesson on, such as working out calculations using events in the Olympic Games. As well as this, be prepared to be interviewed by the school counsellors or prefects. We know that children are an excellent judge of character and they can be very direct with their questioning, so be prepared to impress them. This could be the most challenging, but also the most fun part of your day. Remember, the interview isn't just the school assessing you, it's about you figuring out if the school is the right one for you as well. Asking thoughtful questions shows that you're serious about the role and genuinely interested in the school's culture. Some good examples of questions to ask are: how does the school support teacher development and provide CPD? When I read your behaviour policy, I really wanted to ask you about, and how are new teachers supported during their first year? Avoid asking questions you could have easily found on their website. That shows you haven't done your research. Instead, focus on questions that gives you a deeper insight into the school's working environment and what it will be like there as a new teacher. Now, time to think about feedback. Generally, schools get back to you on the day of the interview to tell you whether you've been successful or not. If you don't get the answer you want, don't be disheartened. Rejection happens to everyone. Even the best teachers don't get every role they apply for. If you don't get the role, it's important to ask for feedback so you know what you can improve on next time. Learning from your mistakes and being resilient as a teacher is absolutely essential. Every rejection brings you closer to the right role. It's all part of the process. And remember, if you don't get the job, it doesn't mean you're not a good teacher. It just means that school wasn't quite the right fit for you. The right opportunity will eventually come along. Lastly, confidence matters. You've done the training, you've got the skills, and now you're ready for the next step. Walk into every interview knowing that you're qualified and prepared. Watch our video on how to be confident in the classroom in the description below for more tips on this. When you show you're confident, schools are more likely to see you as capable and ready for the role. And don't forget, you're interviewing them just as much as they're interviewing you. Finding the right school is more about just getting a job. It's about finding a place where you can go and thrive as a teacher. Stepping into the world of teaching is a huge milestone, and applying for your first role is just the beginning of a rewarding journey. Every experience, from writing your application to delivering your interview lesson, is a valuable opportunity to grow as a teacher. Embrace the process with curiosity, stay open to learning, and trust in the preparation that you've already done. The right role will not only match your skills, but also inspire you to become the teacher that you want to be. Good luck with your applications, you've got this. I've been Zoe from My Progression. Let's keep your career in motion.